Just want to let you know, we have a daily life dialogue, and we're going to be talking about getting a visa. So this was inspired by an article that I read in the news, and it was talking about how a lot of retirees, people who retired, are moving outside of the U.S.
Yes.
A lot of Americans are moving to different countries for retirement.
Yes.
So getting a visa, which one should I apply for? And so we're just going to basically talk about, foreigners living in a different country, what kind of visas. And of course, you recently got your 영주권.
I did. I got my permanent residency.
Wow, permanent residency.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. So we'll be talking about that all month long. Let's look at some expressions that we're going to cover today. If something is smooth sailing,
it means that progress is going well. Everything is going forward and there are no problems along the way.
Yeah, that's right. Smooth. If you work your way through something,
you are progressing through something, and it does feel like it's taking time. It's not hard, but you're just working slowly towards the end.
Very good. And how about if you turn in something, like turn in your application?
This means you are submitting your application. It needs to go to an official or a teacher or some end point to be looked at, so you are giving it to the person that needs that application.
Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue.
I've decided to apply for a visa to stay here longer, Marco. Any advice?
It all depends on which visa you want to get. But I can tell you it won't be smooth sailing.
I'm going to try for the digital nomad visa. That allows me to work from home here.
Well, one of my friends hired a lawyer to help her.
I still have a month to see if I can work my way through all the red tape.
Whatever you do, don't wait too long to turn in your application.
Okay, Jasmine begins by saying, I've decided to apply for a visa to stay here longer, Marco. Any advice? So Jasmine is in a foreign country, and she has like a tourist visa, but now she wants to stay longer. She wants residency.
Yes.
So any advice? And Marco says, it all depends on which visa you want to get, but I can tell you it won't be smooth sailing. So it all depends on is a great pattern. It's not our pattern today.
Yeah.
But what does this mean?
This means that depending on what you want, your situation will be completely different.
Okay.
It all depends on what you want means, hey, if you want visa A, it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
If you want visa B, it's going to be nearly impossible.
Marco says it won't be smooth sailing.
Yes.
So first of all, what is smooth sailing?
Well, sailing, of course, comes from being on a boat in the ocean, right? And if the sea does not have waves, the water is flat, it's very easy for the boat to move forward.
Okay.
And we call that smooth sailing.
Right.
So, of course, you can use it when you're on a boat.
Right.
But we use it more often in our daily lives, talking about progress being made easily without any major problems.
So it's just running, operating very smoothly.
Yes.
Okay. So, but Marco says it won't be smooth sailing. So basically he's saying it's going to be difficult.
Yes.
Okay. What does Jasmine say?
I'm going to try for the digital nomad visa. That allows me to work from home here.
Okay, so there is a visa for digital nomads.
Yeah.
That's interesting. We had a topic, before about working as a digital nomad, which means, you live away from your home and, you just work in another country from the comfort of your apartment.
Right, yeah. Usually all you need is a laptop.
Yeah.
Maybe even a smartphone now.
Yes, that's right.
And you do all of your work, what we would say is remotely. You do not have to meet people in person, talk to them, write reports by hand. Everything is done over the internet using technology. And you could really be anywhere in the world and work.
That's right. That's a digital nomad. And I guess there's a visa that, because really you are working.
Right, you are working, but there are certain countries that have what's called a digital nomad visa where your work is located outside of that country,
right?
But they allow you to do things like get a cell phone there, get a bank account, maybe rent a house.
Right.
And there is often like special tax schemes where because you're actually working outside the country, you don't have to pay as much in taxes and stuff like that.
Okay, good. So, digital nomad visa. And Marco says, well, one of my friends hired a lawyer to help her. So, these sort of visa situations, there are actually lawyers who specialize in that. And Jasmine says, I still have a month to see if I can work my way through all the red tape.
Yes.
Okay. Kind of difficult. Okay, she has a month.
Yes.
Okay, we understand that. To see if I can work my way through all the red tape. First of all, let's talk about this expression or power vocab, red tape. Is the tape really red?
I think originally there was literally red tape involved, but we are talking about a concept called bureaucracy, B-U-R-E-A-U-C-R-A-C-Y.
Okay.
I did that in my head.
Okay.
But it's basically whenever you go to a government office and they say, please take a number, please wait your turn.
Right.
You wait, and then you do the paperwork, and they say, oh, you need to go to another department.
Yeah.
And you go to another place.
Right.
You receive another number.
Oh, my gosh.
You wait. That waiting, going to another place, that's what we call red tape, because I think originally the numbers you would receive came on a piece of red tape. So it's this concept of having to wait to do some kind of official application, right? So
Okay.
she's having to work through all the red tape.
Right. So work through all of this sort of official process.
Yes. So there's a lot of things.
To work through?
Yeah, to work through means to do the procedures you need to do, but the feeling is often that it's going to take a while. If you're working through red tape, it might take you a month.
Or a year.
Yeah. You have to get all of the paperwork collected. Then you have to go to the correct department. Someone has to stamp the paper. Then you have to take that paper to another place. It's not a quick process, so you're working through the process.
Right. And anything that involves visas and official paperwork, it is a process.
Yes.
So you do have to work through the red tape. Okay. And what does Marco say?
Whatever you do, don't wait too long to turn in your application.
Okay. Our power pattern today is whatever you do. And what does this mean, whatever you do?
So this is a great expression to put at the beginning of a sentence where you're going to tell someone something that they absolutely must do. Do not forget this because it is 100% necessary. So whatever you do, it really means you can do anything you want.
But you have to.
You have to do this.
Got it. So whatever you do, you can do it, but don't wait too long to turn in your application. So don't wait too long is just saying, like, don't delay the process.
Yeah.
And turn in your application,
Yeah, to turn in means to submit something to like an official organization or like, a teacher.
Yeah.
And it is where you're taking the required document and you're giving it to the person who needs it.
Yeah. Oftentimes in another setting, we have professors say, turn in your essay by next week on Friday. Okay.
Yeah, I think often turn in your report or turn in your homework are more commonly used with this type of thing.
Okay, let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
I've decided to apply for a visa to stay here longer, Marco. Any advice?
It all depends on which visa you want to get. but I can tell you it won't be smooth sailing.
I'm going to try for the digital nomad visa. That allows me to work from home here.
Well, one of my friends hired a lawyer to help her.
I still have a month to see if I can work my way through all the red tape.
Whatever you do, don't wait too long to turn in your application.
Okay, it's time for Power Note. Let's look at some expressions. Review.
Yes.
Smooth sailing. Okay, what does this mean? Smooth sailing.
You're progressing something. Procedures are going forward, and there aren't really many problems going on.
Okay.
It's going smoothly.
It's smoothly.
It's going
okay.
well.
All right. Once I pay back my business loans, it will be smooth sailing.
I don't think that's a good attitude to take as an entrepreneur.
Okay. So I'm saying, oh, I can pay back and then I'm good.
Yes.
But you're saying, why is that not a good attitude?
Right. So an entrepreneur is kind of like a business person who has started their own business.
Right.
Of course you have to pay back your business loans.
Yeah.
But that's not the only thing you have to think about as an entrepreneur.
Right.
You got to think about your employees. You got to make a profit. You have to maybe do some research and development.
Right.
If you're only worried about paying back your business loans, your business will probably not last too long.
Okay, that's right. It was smooth sailing right from the start of the conference.
So this means at the conference, there were no problems. Everything went well. So all of the speakers arrived on time.
Yeah.
The food came on time and it was hot and no one got sick. And, to be honest, usually when you do a conference,
Right.
something happens.
Oh, of course.
Like a plane.
Any event.
A plane is late, so then the main speaker isn't there. Or there's supposed to be catering, like food, and the food doesn't arrive, so everyone's hungry and angry. Something always happens at a conference,
Right.
but you hope that it is smooth sailing.
Yeah. I mean, when are things smooth sailing? I don't think ever.
Gosh, yeah.
Like really smooth sailing. But I guess you would use this when you plan something and everything is going according to plan.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And it is often used whenever there was something hard that happened at first. So maybe planning the conference was very difficult.
Right.
Orchestrating every person, where they need to go, all of the meetings that you have. But after the planning, when the conference actually starts, it's smooth sailing.
Right.
All of the hard work was already done.
That's right. Okay, very good. Okay, so work your way through something. Now, we know what work is, but if you work your way through, I feel like there's a kind of process.
Right.
There's a kind of thing that you have to go through.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have a start point, you have an end point, and slowly but surely you are doing everything you need to do to get to the end.
Okay. Is that the same book you were reading yesterday?
No, it's a different book. I'm working my way through the entire series this month.
Okay. So you start by reading a book. But this book, it's this entire series. It's a series.
Yes.
It's one of 20 books.
Right.
Right? So if you work your way through this series, it means what?
You're reading the books.
Yeah.
But so in this case, it might be difficult to read.
Yeah.
Or it could just mean they're really long books. Like if you think book series like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's a very long book series.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anyone could read the entire series in a day.
No.
You have to work through the series.
Okay.
Work your way through the series. I don't know. Maybe a book a day?
Yeah. Oh, can you? Book a day?
Like book 5? Book 5 is the longest.
Maybe one book a week?
And yeah, because book 5 is over 800 pages in the
really
English
long.
version. Yeah.
And you have to work.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Some people maybe don't have to.
Yeah. It took days to work my way through all the resumes submitted for the job. So people who are in charge of, hiring new employees, right? They
Yes.
get a lot of resumes, a lot of applications. So you have to work your way through them.
Yes. There is this feeling it's going to take a while, and often it's repetitive. It's similar stuff. So these resumes, they're pretty much very similar probably.
Right.
You got the name, maybe the picture, you know, what they did in the past. You're reading it, but it's much of the same action. The same with the book. You're reading over and over.
Right.
So yeah, I tend to think of working your way through something. It's going to take a while, and you just have to repeat it over and over and over.
Okay. Now, if you turn in something, it means to deliver or to submit. So, like, basically giving someone at the appropriate time an application or a resume or document, okay? Did you turn in your final paper for advanced economics yet?
No, it's due tomorrow, so I'm going to work on it a little more tonight.
Okay, so very commonly used at school.
Yeah.
Turn in your homework, turn in your reports, turn in, teachers are always asking students to turn things in.
Yes.
You're fired. Turn in your security card before you leave. Ooh.
So this is not you completing an application. This is, something that the company doesn't want to have, going out into the rest of the world anymore.
That's right. That's
so in this case, it kind of feels like return.
Yeah, return.
Right?
It's like give it back.
Give it back.
Yeah, kind of strong. Okay, power pattern, whatever you do, which is like do what you want to do, but remember this. Whatever you do, don't fly Stingray Airlines.
Oh, they're the worst.
They're the worst.
Nah. Whatever you do, avoid Interstate 16 today.
There's construction.
Yeah, you'll never get through.
That's right. All right. Our power vocabulary is an interesting one, red tape. Please check out the definition on page 24, and let's thank our sponsor.
한국토익위원회에서 취업과 승진을 위한 토익 스피킹 응시권을 드립니다.
Very nice. Thank